The gods gave you breath, not rescue. Now breathe and rise. Epictetus. You are alone. You always were. Even when they stood beside you. Even when they said, "We'll be here." They didn't stay. They never stay. Because they can't. Because they have their own cages, their own weight, their own invisible suffering. And now you wait. You wait for someone to pull you out. You wait for a sign, a savior, a moment of rescue. You pray, not to God, but to chance. You hope that somehow, something will shift, and your life will begin again. But nothing is coming. Not tomorrow. Not ever. This is the cold wisdom the ancients whispered while the world clung to false comfort. And only a few heard it. A man is not shaped by ease. He is not built by the hands of others. He is carved by fire, by time, by brutal clarity. And the first truth he must swallow, like bitter medicine. No one is coming. The moment you accept this, the world changes shape. What once looked like injustice becomes training. What once felt like abandonment becomes discipline. What once broke you, begins to build you. Because if no one is coming, then you must come. And the man who comes to save himself is a different breed. He doesn't beg. He doesn't scream at the sky, demanding fairness. He walks into the storm with his eyes open and his jaw clenched. Because the weight is his, and always has been. Seneca wrote, "It is not that life is short, but that we waste much of it." And what is the greatest waste? Waiting. Waiting for the pain to end. Waiting for motivation to arrive. Waiting for help, for mercy, for someone to understand. But help delays. Mercy doesn't answer. And understanding never arrives. So stop. Stop asking the world to change. Stop blaming fate, your childhood, the system, the gods. Epictetus taught that we are slaves only to what we refuse to control. You are not a victim. You are a forge. Everything you suffer, everything you endure, is raw iron. The question is not why it hurts. The question is, what will you do with the pain? You think you need someone to pull you from the fire. But what if the fire was sent to pull the real you out? There is no cavalry. There is no miracle. There is no late arrival. Just you. Standing among the ruins of your excuses, your stories, your wasted days. And this is where it begins. Not with hope. Not with comfort. Not even with belief. It begins with decision. A quiet vow. I will not wait anymore. I will not live in expectation. I will not stand still while my time burns. You must become the thing you were hoping for. You must become the answer. Do you think the great men of old were rescued? Do you think Marcus Aurelius, writing by candlelight as his empire crumbled, believed someone would save him? No. He became the stillness in the collapse. He was the answer. Do you think Epictetus, beaten and broken in slavery, waited for freedom? No. He became a mind that could not be chained. They did not wait. They rose. The world will try to convince you otherwise. They will tell you, be patient. Don't push too hard. Someone will see your pain. They won't. Because they're blind, not by cruelty, but by design. Everyone is drowning. Everyone is clawing for the surface. And if you keep waiting for a hand, you will die below. So rise. Not because someone told you to. Not because it's fair or easy or noble. Rise because it's your only option. The cage is not metal. It is thought. It is habit. It is a dream of rescue. Burn it. Let go of the fantasy. Let go of the lifeboat. Let go of the childish idea that life owes you anything. And look in the mirror. That man? He is the only one who can save you. To become the answer, you must die to who you were. The version of you that begged. The version that postponed. The version that wept when no one showed up. You bury him now. Not with hatred, but with fire. And from his ashes, a will. A shape. A soul that no longer waits. That is what this path demands. Not hope, but hunger. Not peace, but purpose. Not applause, but silence. You will walk alone. But your steps will echo. Because every man who saved himself leaves a trail for others to follow. You wanted someone to come? Good. Then be that someone. They say a man finds his strength when he has no other choice. But that is a lie. Because most men collapse. Most men crumble when left alone. Most men drown with no sound. You are not most men. Because the moment you realize no one is coming, something shifted inside. Something cracked. And through that crack, a fire was born. Not the fire of rage. Not the fire of revenge. But the fire of decision. Now you understand. You were not abandoned, you were awakened. You were not cursed, you were chosen. You were not alone, you were being called to become more. Because comfort was your prison. And rescue was your leash. Now it is all gone. Now there is only will. And from will, everything begins. You begin to rebuild. Not your image. Not your reputation. Not the world's opinion of you. You rebuild the core. The spine. The discipline. The code. One brick at a time. Wake. Train. Work. Endure. Repeat. Without applause. Without reward. Without recognition. Because this is no longer for them. This is you, against everything soft in you. Seneca wrote. The man who has anticipated everything can endure anything. Now you anticipate everything. The betrayal. The storm. The silence. The slow decay of false friends. You no longer flinch. You become solid. You become still. You become what others cannot move. They shout. You whisper. They panic. You breathe. They beg. You act. Epictetus taught. Do not seek for events to happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and your life will go smoothly. You don't resist the pain now. You study it. You use it. You let it chisel away the weakness in you. Because that's what it was always for. Pain wasn't sent to break you. It was sent to burn away everything that was not you. You don't need them to understand anymore. You don't need them to believe. You don't need their help. You are not the man who hopes, you are the man who becomes. No one is coming? Good. Then you will come. You will show up when it's darkest. You will be the hand in the fire. You will be the wall when everything else collapses. You. Now every day is war. Not against others, but against the gravity inside. The part of you that wants to rest. The part that whispers, "You've done enough." The part that still dreams of comfort. You hear it, and you step over it. Because you have buried the beggar. You have silenced the child. You have killed the waiting man. And what remains is will. You no longer cry, "Why me?" You whisper, "Try me." Because now, pain is your training partner. Silence is your sanctuary. And resistance is your sharpening stone. You are no longer moved by moods. You are no longer led by emotion. You are no longer seeking permission. You move because it is time. You endure because you must. You rise because no one else will. You become the one they look to. Not because you sought power, but because you earned presence. They feel something in you. Stillness under pressure. Clarity under chaos. Command without sound. And still, you remain humble. Because you remember the cave. You remember the fire. You remember the man who waited, and almost died waiting. So you keep going. Not for praise. Not for legacy. But because you can't go back. There is no old life. There is no other path. There is only forward. The answer you waited for was you. One day they will ask you, "How did you do it? How did you survive it? How did you become like this?" You won't speak. You'll look at them the way the mountain looks at the wind. You will not explain. Because there are no words for what you became. Only silence. Only scars. Only the shape you forged in the dark. And when your time comes, when your body is ash, and your name is dust, no one will remember your comfort. They will remember your fight. the quiet, the war, the will. Because you didn't wait. You walked through hell, and didn't flinch. You became the answer. And nothing will ever take that from you. And,